Alrighty. Hey, Heather.
And hey, everybody else that's going to watch this
Yeah.
at some point. There's Marcus. Hey.
Hey, Marcus.
Hey, sorry, I had it on mute.
That's
You're okay.
It's all good. Oops. Siri heard me.
Somebody's talking to me.
I know.
Cool. Actually, you can mute unless you've got a specific question.
Okay.
And Marcus is in here, so we might have him talk a little bit at some point because he had a pretty big hand in all of this. But Sarah,
Yeah.
start us up.
Well, thanks for joining us for this Zoom session. We're going to recap all of state basketball, the girls tournament and the boys tournament. It was a 2-week gig that was really fun. We did lots of energy, and we just got Ben back. He took a trip to Hawaii right after. That was much needed, so it's good to see him and to talk about how much fun we had. So we're going to talk about 3 things. Our social media side, we're going to talk about our hype videos, and then also what's the third thing?
The live streaming.
Oh,
side.
the live streaming. Yes.
You know,
Eric's thing.
The first thing that this company did was live streaming, right?
Which is really cool to think about, like where you guys started and then where we are now. I came in later, so I only know what we're really doing now, but the history part is cool. But anyway, Eric's going to start us, and ask any questions at any time, and we'll open it up at the end. But we'll get started.
Okay. So the hype videos is what we wanted to talk about. So last year for 2018, we did 2 videos for the girls. And so the videos were based on where your semifinal was. And these are the hype videos, by the way, that we're doing. If you haven't been to the championship games at PBA for the last 2 years, these are the intro videos that play on the big screens right before the lights come back on and the lineups for both teams are introduced. Mm-hmm. If you're watching on TV, this is what everyone else is seeing in the arena, while TV, they do their initial welcome to the whichever game it is, the C2 game, the Class A game, whatever it is. And then during their commercial break is while this video is playing in the arena. So because of copyrights, we haven't been able to share on social media the amazing videos that Ben has done. But if you send me an email, I could probably get you a way to see it. But we're not sharing it in that regard. So last year what we did was there was 2 videos total for the girls. The three classes that participated at the Devaney Center for their semifinals, they had 1 video. And then the 3 classes that participated at PBA had a separate video. And what we found was when we were watching the crowd watch our videos, and it was Taylor that did the editing last year. Ben wasn't with us quite yet, although Ben shot all of the PBA stuff, but he was still in school, so we didn't keep him up till all night like we did this year. But what we found was, boy, we got some really fun reactions when people would see their girls on the big screen. And so the next week, Taylor and I decided we need to do a video for each game. And so that's what we did. And it was very well received. We changed it up a little bit this year. Ben is more creative than Taylor and I are combined. So we were kind of like, hey, man, this is the time. This is the song. What do you want to try to do? And he came up with the idea of taking his Ronin camera stabilizer through the Haymarket to get like an intro shot. Literally, like if you didn't see it, it's like you're coming through the Haymarket really, really fast, up the escalator, into the main room, and then here's the highlights from the semifinals the other day. And then we also went to Devaney and shot that like you were walking up to Devaney, walking up the ramp and into the arena.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Gives you chills.
Yeah, it was very cool. So the process of going through all that. So at PBA both weeks, so for girls and the boys, Ben was there and doing all sorts of his fun camera stuff and camera tricks. Hunter Rodenslaben helped out as well. Did Nate help for the boys? He wasn't for the evening session.
Correct.
He was around. Mm-hmm. Nate Thomas is a Millard West Strive U Academy student. He helped a little bit. But shooting those clips, you're shooting both semifinals for each class. So you're kind of going into 2 games thinking we need to get certain shots for each team. And one of the things that we did this year that was very, very helpful was that we learned from last year was having an idea. We had actually came up with a shot list of basically everything that we knew we wanted to see from each team. Like we wanted to see the opening tip-off of every game. We wanted to see a good shot of the coach on the bench. We wanted to see, at least something from intros. We wanted to see, 5 good, clear made baskets type stuffs. We tried our best if we could. There were just not a lot of semifinal dunks for the guys. That was a little disappointing, but if we got it, we got it. There were some great championship game stuff though, that we did get. And so stuff like that, where we laid out a shot list ahead of time, helped tremendously. And then the other thing that we did was, while Ben and Hunter were at PBA, Marcus Shear and I were at the Devaney Center for those 6 games all day. And so Marcus was a horse in getting all of that done. Thank you. Shooting all of those videos. I took a lot more pictures than what Ben and Hunter did. So Marcus shot a lot of video, and it turned out fantastic. And then one of the things that we did this year that helped tremendously also was, after each game, in taking the games, the footage, the clips from the SD card onto a hard drive, was we actually named the clips as we went, so that when Ben got the clips for the game, he was able real quick to go through and go, okay, I only want to see the games that are the clips that are tagged with the winning team and then what the shot was. So we had, we had the Crete girls when they won their semifinals. So we had Crete made shots, Crete intros, Crete, whatever the shot list was. And so for Ben, that really sped up the process. And I know for the guys, we did it a lot better for the guys than what we did for the girls, because every time we do it, we're going to get a little better at it. But that was really helpful. So really having a plan on what you wanted to film. We learned that also from state wrestling. Boy, wrestling was just kind of a free-for-all. And that's why that was one video, and it was an all-night thing. And we still did a second edit of that. We would have a much better idea of what we want going forward. So that's kind of another Zoom session though. But really getting all of those shots, getting them labeled, sped up the editing process, because the editing process began at about 11 o'clock Friday night. For those of you that were on Instagram, I tried to Instagram story the process for Ben and for and then the second week Nate was there, although he fell asleep at like 1, so he wasn't much help.
Rightly so.
But he's a kid. I thought kids pulled all-nighters, but apparently not anymore. So that was the process. And again, if you saw the Instagram story, it was an all-night thing and into the next day. But to be able to have those finished videos, and Ben put a lot of extra touches in editing, little sound effects that you might not have noticed even the first time if you watch them. The transitions were incredibly much better, instead of just cut to shot and a little bit of slow-mo that Taylor and I did. Boy, it was much better. So those were kind of the hype videos. We've been commissioned by the NSAA to do those. So we did those for basketball last season and this season. We did the same thing for wrestling this year. And then we also did the intro video for volleyball. Volleyball had one video, and I'm really excited because as of next school year, the volleyball schedule changes so that state volleyball will actually be a week earlier than what it is. And this might be another Zoom in and of itself, but with semifinal football occurring on the same day as semifinal volleyball, that takes a lot of our resources as Strive. We're really all across the state getting stuff done. So with volleyball moving up a week next year, we will be able to get more resources to state volleyball and hopefully do some more stuff with that. So excited about what we pulled off this year. And, we're not done yet. We've got soccer and track that we will probably do some stuff for too. So Ben doesn't know that yet though. So social media is another thing that we do a lot of. And so I'll let Sarah talk about where we I'm going to pass her the proverbial iPad with notes on it too, to talk about what we did social media wise.
Cool. So the social media part is more of what I was doing the whole time at state basketball. I didn't have a lot to do with the videos. I think I tagged one game to help with the hype videos. But other than that, I had a camera and I was focusing on ultimate coverage for our Strive schools with photographs and telling their story on both Instagram, Strive TV Instagram, and our Strive Sports Twitter. So kind of what that looks like, I would make a lot of planning went into the process of like where our Strive schools were playing both Devaney and PBA and mapping out where I needed to be to shoot the photographs. So we would see that there's a game at 9 o'clock. So I would go down, I had my media vest, and I would try to get shots of the Strive school that was playing. So sometimes we had 2 Strive schools, which was really great. So you could be on both sides and it didn't matter. And sometimes it just had 1 Strive school. So you had to kind of plan where, they were shooting at the basket to get them on offense and if you wanted to get them on defense and things like that. And so Marcus also helped me a lot with this. A few times he would just, flip the video to photo and would shoot some photos for me and send them to me later. But more with the process of that was, so I would take the photos and then after the game or even at halftime, I'd go back to the media room. You take out that memory card and I'd put it into my laptop and I would go through and I would tag every photo that we considered to be a good photo for Strive, which is usually a face. You can see a number, it's not blurry, or something with just emotion, and that would tell the story well, because we also want to spotlight the student. So besides just telling their story on Instagram for Strive, we also want to have people know who that player is, and then to have that player, reshare that photo on their Instagram story, be proud of that, or be like, hey, yeah, like I'm going to share this. And we also had a lot of people ask like, hey, can I have this photo, which was really cool to do. And so that in itself is like, it's a process and you have to be patient. And sometimes you get really good photos right away. And then sometimes they're kind of blurry or the lighting is wrong. A lot of little things that I figured out last year at state basketball that this year, just that learning process of how to take photos and sports photography was a brand new thing for me, but really fun and really, really cool. So with our Instagram story, we had the photographs, but like Eric shared, he liked to do the behind the scenes with the hype videos. So you probably saw Eric like talking to the screen like this and you heard his voice, calling out like what we've done. So he was really paying attention to what we had already posted and then going throughout the night, putting a timestamp on the Instagram story and really just engaging with the audience and telling that story like from beginning to end. So it's really fun. I think we still need to make it a highlight on our Instagram story. That's a really important part, so anybody can go back and watch it.
It is. If you go to the Strive TV Instagram page, it should be the BTS. It should be a highlight. I don't know if I highlighted the girls basketball week, but for sure I don't know if I did the boys, but I know for sure I did the girls, that behind the scenes. And there wasn't a lot different for the guys. I made fun of Nate for falling asleep about one. That was about the biggest difference. And there was pizza the second week. So totally got to do pizza next year.
Yeah.
That helped tremendously.
Yeah. So like I said, I wasn't really a part of the editing process at night, but it was really cool to watch that and see what they did and all the stories they have. But the best part about all of this is our Strive U Academy kids that came and that had the courage to put on a media vest and wear our Strive badge and do exactly what we do. So we had 3 students this year. We had Libby and Dante from Adams Central, and then we had Nate Thomas, who stayed up with the guys
for a little bit,
who also came. So he came from Friday to Saturday, and Dante and Libby came Thursday and Friday. So how that kind of looks is I just coordinated with them and I sent out a message on who, wants some real life experience and shooting video or photos, kind of whatever we need at the time. And we just coordinated and we met. One was at PBA and one was at Devaney. And we bring them into the media room where you have like all the newspapers and everybody like with their laptops doing their thing, to kind of get them immersed into the whole journalism culture there. We talked about like what our goal is, and that's shooting mostly vertical photos, a few horizontal, vertical for our Instagram story. Show them how the camera works and where to stay, and that was all I really had to tell them. And of course, it's a professional setting, but they didn't need any help with that. They were great kids. And so then they just went out and did it. And so very proud of them. They took great photos, both Dante and Libby, and Nate as well. He did other things besides photos, but especially them. And so looking at their photos after the game, I would send them to them, and then we'd also want to spotlight them on both Twitter and Instagram and point out their hard work and, just taking the step to learn more about what it is to cover a media event. So it was really exciting to see their faces light up and to be also very proud of their work, and definitely something like in the future to get more students and anybody who really wants to. I mean, it's really cool to see a high school student sitting next to like the Omaha World Herald photographer and things like that. So, and then, with Nate Thomas, I said he did more. So he did our live tweeting on Championship Saturday.
Yep. So we had a lot of Stripe schools that were playing for championships on Saturday. So I think I took that first C1 game with North Bend Central and Auburn and kind of showed him how I would live tweet it and so that he could kind of understand a little bit of the voice that the Stripe Sports tweets have. And then he kind of ran with it for the rest of the day and did a really, really nice job. And it was great because I wasn't going to be awake long enough to put together great tweets all day, but he'd slept, so he was fine with that.
Yeah, he did. And we got a really nice shout out from someone on Twitter. We had posted on our Twitter about Nate Thomas showing up, and because he was here for football, he was here for volleyball, and now basketball. So he's, I think he really likes hanging out with us, I would say. Or, I think he's looking at his journalism school next year. But someone had quote retweeted and said, I've seen this kid around all weekend, like very shocked by, how great he's doing and how easy it is. It's not like he's being a kid, just, being kind of crazy or something. Like he understands it's a professional setting. So that was really cool to see. And also for Nate. And like I said, very proud of them and excited to see how that grows and more opportunities outside of the sports world that we can give our students. So, and then finally, we did live press conferences on Facebook on Championship Saturday. Tony and Eric, you guys were more a part of that. You want to talk about
Tony
that?
didn't do anything.
Tony didn't do anything.
It was just me.
Okay. It was just Eric.
It was just me. So now it's been 3 years for the Facebook Live. So 3 years ago, the NSAA, in conjunction with Pinnacle Bank Arena, came up with a really cool idea to set up a press conference room, which is pretty similar to what you'd see if you watch, the NCAA tournament starts this week. Mm-hmm. So you're going to see clips of teams, coaches, and players in a press conference setting where they're up on a stage. They've got their own microphone, a little name card in front of them, the NSA or the NCAA banner behind them, so that all of the media people can ask a question basically at the same time, right? Mm-hmm. So the NSAA and PBA took that idea and kind of shrank it down, but got some professional lighting in there. PBA put a multi-box audio system in, which for those of you that don't know is kind of like a reverse soundboard. There's one input from a set of microphones, and then there's multiple ways to plug your external microphone into that so that everyone, so all of the TV stations, what I was able to set up for the Facebook Live, could plug into this multi-box and have the really good quality audio from the microphone that was right in front of the players and coaches. Stu Pospisil from the World Herald moderated it, and he really enjoys that role, and he does a really nice job with it because he's been around those NCAA type press conferences before. So it was really cool to it's really cool to see the players' reaction when they first get in there, and there's some bright lights, and here's a camera right in their face, and here's 8, 9, 10 reporters that are all asking questions, and the coaches there, and it looks and it feels very big time, and what the NSAA has done with that has been really great. So anyway, 3 years ago they started that, and the first one I happened to be in there, and I see that Ashton, who is the marketing specialist with the NSAA, has her phone out, and she's just holding it like this. And when the press conference was over, I asked her, Ashton, what are you doing? She's like, we thought it might be fun to put this on like Facebook Live. And I'm like, well, if you want Facebook Live, like I got a tripod and a camera and a laptop that can send it to your Facebook. And she's like, really? So we set the laptop up and used Wirecast and sent the press conferences to the NSAA Facebook page that first year. And got some really fun reviews. They got a ton of engagement. They were really happy with that. So we've done that now for basketball for 3 years. Volleyball, they kind of did it this year. It's not quite the same setup there at the Devaney Center, but I was able to actually do it on my phone, but I had a little tripod that I was able to get some steadier footage than what you would just have handheld. But so those press conferences have been just kind of a lot of fun, a little extra thing on the side. Taylor's going to be in the
I'm
trying to see who's going. I know.
You better do an official hello now.
Yeah. So Heather's on, Mark is on, James is on, live anyway. So and I completely lost. I was talking about Facebook Live. That's about it. We did that. So we've done that for 3 years for basketball, 1 year for volleyball. The other sports, just kind of the way they're set up, it would be nice to do something for football because, boy, there's a ton of media guys that get on the field right after a game. And I know finding the coach and finding the players that you want to talk to can be interesting at best at times. They haven't quite come up with that solution yet, but that's hopefully something that will be coming. And I'm sure we'll Facebook Live that when that happens too. So that's that.
Yeah. I guess to wrap up social media before we move into the live streaming broadcasting side, our whole goal, like I said earlier, is for ultimate coverage for our Strive schools, but also to do something completely different than your Omaha World Herald, your local newspaper, and what the TV station is doing. I think Eric said it best yesterday when we were in UTAN that, you have your TV stations there shooting all day with these large cameras just to get, 5 seconds of a highlight video, like maybe them winning, the cheerleaders, or something like that. And just kind of how media is switching there and how we can create hype videos and engage with the audience on social media and spotlight our students. So, I think that's it for social media, and we'll transition into our streaming and broadcasting.
So the live streaming is obviously that was the foundation of Strive, if you will. Oh, yes. The foundation of Strive is to provide schools a platform and the education to do live streaming for their events. So what better event to do than state basketball? And so we had a few schools this year that were able to take advantage of the opportunities. Elkhorn South did a stream there from the girls. Crete and Jeremy Fries did a great job, as they always do, coming in to stream the Crete girls in the first round. NCN did some streaming in the first and second rounds this year. So if you were at Devaney on Thursday or PBA on Friday, NCN was covering your game as far as the live streaming side of it was concerned. We had, and I'm going to look at my notes here because we had a lot. We had Chickley did a live stream with their the BDS game against Mullen. Mm-hmm. Fillmore Central did an audio stream. That was really cool. Instead of doing the camera setup, they did on the Strive channel. They did an audio stream, so like a radio broadcast of that game. So that was fun for those guys to be able to set up. And Fillmore Central got that W. So that was cool as well. Fillmore Central never won a state tournament game. So go Panthers. And then we have a full crew at Devaney then this year each day that we were able to get some guys in there. And it was really cool because we tried to work it out with Northwest for the girls when their girls team was there, and it just didn't work out with NCN doing the games at Devaney, then PBA. That's where Northwest was. But for the guys, we were able to get Luke and Tyler actually to Lincoln, and they called a game with our crew on NFHS and did a fantastic job. Unfortunately, they split before Marcus and I could get up top and get a picture with them. But they did a great job from what I heard from Derek and Riley that we're doing the broadcasting for the rest of the day. So tip of the hat to Luke and Tyler. We're all about providing those types of opportunities for even if your school, and that was a great example, even if your school isn't at state, mm-hmm. If you can get out of school for a day or whatever it is, that's a cool opportunity, and always going to try to accommodate any school that we can to get an opportunity for a student to run a camera, to run Wirecast, to announce, to do play-by-play or color, whatever it is. We'll do everything that we can to make that happen. So it was cool to see that. And then for the guys, that first on Thursday, we had York that was able to stream their game. Of course, the snow was happening, so I'm just glad they made it and everyone was safe there. Kearney was able to do both the game before them and their game, and then Omaha Central did the same. They did the game before and their game. So we ended up getting 5 of the 6 games from PBA on Thursday that were available to watch. And then we ended up setting up a crew at Lincoln Northeast that streamed 5 of the 6 games that had a Strive school in there as well. And that's something that we'll probably kick around a little bit more is being able to have equipment ready and kind of set up at the locations. And so in the future, if you've got kids that are interested in streaming at state, the opportunity for the student really to just kind of sit down and do the game and not have to worry about equipment or kind of anything else, it would be taken care of. That could be something that is coming forward too. So it was fun to pull all that off. And then, like we said, we had Luke and Tyler that helped us out on Friday for those semifinals. And then really the streaming side is kind of done because you've got NET that does the fantastic job of the championships. I know we kicked around some third place games this year and we never got to those with the schools. So, which is fine. But that's always a possibility and an option too, if a school is in a third place game, because those aren't on NET. You can do those on NFHS as well. So lots of opportunities, and kind of a friendly reminder that if there's anything that you might have a student that's interested, even if your school isn't at state, coming to state and being a part of that atmosphere is really awesome and really unique. And I think if you asked any of the people that were able to get there to state, that's a lot of fun. We put a lot into that to make it happen for them. So I think Sarah's got a few more reminders, but we're just about done for the day. So we'll get the bracket challenge in there too. That's Sarah's reminder number 1.
But I haven't even filled out the bracket yet.
I haven't either.
So we have a bracket. I believe it's on the Strive Schools Facebook page. If someone is listening and you want into our group, I can definitely invite you there. We have a great community. Where else is it shared? On Strive, probably public Facebook as well.
I think Taylor tweeted it too, maybe.
Okay. Well, we'll double check that one. I need to fill it out. Eric needs to fill it out. So
been a little busy.
We've been a little busy. Second reminder, we're going to be at NETA with Heather. She's going to be there too. We will have a booth for number 405 and 505, both Strive and Class Intercom.
Are we on the end again?
I think
like
so.
The end of the.
I would assume so.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
We've got a blog post out there that you can find on our WordPress or on our website that has the full map of NETA, the conference room. It has our number. And also we have a session this year. I will be talking with Alyssa, our website project manager. We will be talking Thursday morning at 10 a.m. in Ballroom 202. So we'll be talking a lot about how to spotlight your students on social media. And just how to give them a platform to have a voice. So we'd love to see you there. I think it's a pretty big room, so you'll find a spot for sure.
Right.
Third reminder, our Strive Scholarship is still open. It will close on April 17th. So if you have seniors who are interested in a journalism degree next year, journalism being art, writing, graphic design, all of that definitely applies. So please pass that along. It's a great opportunity. There can be 1 or 2 winners, so for $500 or $250. But anyway, I believe free money is right. And one more reminder: there's a great opportunity this summer at the journalism school at UNL. It's called the NHSPA Journalism or Summer Journalism Workshop, and so it's where students all around Nebraska gather to learn more about journalism, and we will be there in the video track. So students can sign up to be in the video track and hang out with the Strive team. They will go home knowing more about editing and shooting video from, video like this where you sit down and we have lights and we have a camera, to doing what Ben does and what we did all weekend. So they'll go home with a finished project, which is really great, and where we met some of our Strive U Academy kids and kind of made that connection there. So we also have a blog post about that. It's on Twitter. You'll find it on Strive U. You have to sign up through NHSPA, but that's all linked in there. Great opportunity though. It doesn't just have to be video. There's lots of different tracks that they have for students interested in journalism. So anything else, Eric?
I think that's it. I think we've rambled for a long time.
Yep.
And if you have, I would say this, if you have any questions about what we did at state basketball or how we did it, that this actually just reminds me, I need to get some clips of the UTAN game to UTAN. They were doing a video project, so that's cool. Yeah, let us know because it's whatever we can do to give you guys an opportunity. Found out yesterday that a girl from UTAN tried to get her GoPro in at Devaney, and it didn't. They didn't like it, and it's like, well, if you let me know, I can get you a full media pass in there. Right. So I'm not saying that we can have you hook you up with everything, but we can hook you up with a lot.
Yeah.
So take advantage.
Yep. Thankful for everyone that helped out, especially I was just thinking with Heather when I was posting photos for GI Northwest and tagging them. GI Northwest was reposting them on their Instagram story, and that was Heather, who was sitting about 5 rows up behind me. So that was kind of fun, but a great way to show, engaging with your audience. So anyway, I believe that's it. A big thank you to everyone that helped. I guess we'll see you next time.
If Heather or Marcus or James, if you guys have any questions or comments, Marcus, did we miss anything?
It looked like Heather maybe had a question. I'll let her ask her or talk first.
Okay. Heather, you got something?
No, I don't really have a question. I just want to reiterate what you said. You guys did an amazing job, and it was nice to be highlighted on social media. I know a lot of the students follow our Instagram, so reposting that and stuff. I even saw some screenshots and some different things. So that is just really awesome. So thank you for your support of our school, whether we were there competing or like in the boys when you had Luke and Tyler had the opportunity to be there. So we just definitely appreciate it. And I know you talked about the hype videos at the beginning, and I kind of saw them from afar last year, but being there and seeing them, you're so right. It's like goosebumps. And so thank you for your work with that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Heather.
There is one thing I want to share, and if you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen just for a little bit.
Let me make sure we can see the whole thing here. I'm gonna I gotta unpin my video. Now we can see yours.
Okay. So hopefully this is showing up right. Can you see the schedule thing?
Yes.
So this is the stuff that I like, and can you talk a little bit about Thursday of all the planning it takes, because you were talking about covering Strive schools across 4 locations.
Yeah, that was, I lived in Google Sheets for 2 weeks, actually 3 weeks, to get everything planned and organized. So what Marcus has got shared there is the list of every game in the first round for the, I think that was the boys, no, that's the girls pick up there. But the Strive schools highlighted, and then what we were looking at for play-by-play, for color, for Wirecast, for camera, if we had an NFHS ID number, I was able to paste those in there. Who was going to be at what location for Strive, so it was really our chance to show those, so that we could organize ourselves better. And also then it kind of got added to when we got to the boys the next week, what equipment was where, and that helped a lot too. So yeah, I definitely lived in that place, in that particular Google Sheet for about 3 weeks there.
And something we used, photography wise and social media wise with our students was following that and screenshotting that and sending it to people. So just to know where we needed to be.
Yeah. That was cool. Thanks for bringing that up. All right. Well, the chat is going crazy now. Don't pick the same. Yeah. Don't. Everybody's filling out their brackets now.
Good.
Good luck to everybody on that. There we go.
Cool.
Now we can see it. Okay.
I believe.
Any other thoughts, questions, concerns, comments? We'll probably do a couple more. We'll probably need to do one here in a couple weeks because we're going to stream the York Golf Invite right now, scheduled for April 11th. That's a Thursday. We usually do it's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of streaming in the afternoon as the final groups come through the final 4 holes or so. So that's a really fun setup. And, Ben has a drone, so that could be fun. Kind of excited about that. So I'm sure there will be more Zooms this spring.
Yep.
And also we are, maybe this should have been a reminder too, but we're in the process of getting things started to get organized for summer. So if you have a theme in mind for our summer workshop where we kind of cater it towards the teachers, but if there's a specific theme that you think that we should talk about, or that the discussion should be centered around, shoot us a message, shoot Sarah an email, and we'll kind of roll that all together and see it, kind of what some consensuses are, and what we want to talk about for the summer workshop. So been talk about maybe we can actually do some out west, way out west and north, like Valentine-ish area. So road trip would be kind of fun. So looking forward to that. Sarah's not looking forward to that already.
No, I am.
But yeah, so if you have an idea for a summer workshop, an overall Strive commercial. I've been wanting to do that for 4 years, and now that we have a guy that we can actually like truly edit something cool, we really need to do a Strive commercial. Yes, you're right, Marcus. It's somewhere in, it's item 15 on the list of 50, I think, right now. But yeah, hopefully that would happen, and I would love to see it happen. I know I've talked about it. I think I wrote a script for it a couple years ago, and then we just never quite got to that. So we need a little self-care, a little self-love, I think, as far as that goes. So yeah, we'll work on that. Cool.
Anyway, I think that's a wrap.
I think it's lunchtime. So
Yes.
Thanks, Marcus, Heather, James. Good job with your brackets, and best of luck there.
Yeah.
So
See you next time.
deuces.
Bye.